You're ready, Mayor.
Thank you. I'm going to call the meeting to order on June 9th. We'll do the pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Take seated. Call the roll, please.
Smith.
Here.
Wolfvale.
Here.
Burbank. Here. Ferguson. Here. Green absent. Arsano absent.
Motion to excuse Councilmember Green and Arsano.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay. Agenda modifications. Council, do you have any additions, corrections, or deletions to the agenda as presented?
Move to approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, this point in the agenda, we're going to move to announcement, appointments, and presentations. So I am going to call Angelisa Mazzoni to the podium and swear her in. What we have done, I want you to sign both copies, please.
Sounds good.
Ready?
Yes.
Okay, why don't you turn this way so that your family can take pictures? Okay. I
Oh, wait.
state your name,
Angelisa Mazzoni,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I am a citizen of the United States,
that I am a citizen of the United States,
the state of Washington, and the city of Buckley,
the state of Washington, and the city of Buckley,
that I will support the Constitution and the laws of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution and the laws of the United States,
the Constitution and laws of the state of Washington,
the Constitution and laws of the state of Washington,
and the laws of the city of Buckley,
and the laws of the city of Buckley,
and to the best of my judgment, skill, and ability,
and to the best of my judgment, skill, and ability,
will faithfully and impartially perform
will faithfully and impartially perform
and discharge the duties of the office of council member
and discharge the duties of the office of council member
for the city of Buckley, Washington,
for the city of Buckley, Washington,
as duties are prescribed by law.
as duties are prescribed by law.
Congratulations. You'll sign right here for me and right this one. One of these is for you.
Yes.
And then one of these is for Treva, and this goes to First County to the elections office.
Perfect.
Okay?
Thank
So if
you.
you want to take a minute and take some pictures, you're more than welcome to. We
Okay.
can do that right now.
Perfect.
Okay? Call them up, tell them what to do.
Thank you.
And I gave her.
Perfect.
You want us to be able. This must be your maternal grandmother. It's your golden gangers. I can tell.
Oh.
Anybody else in the Rosie family? That's it? Okay.
Congrats.
Yeah.
Gonna be okay having somebody.
I know
over
I have
there.
a desk man now for the first time. Come on.
right.
Get up here. Come on.
You gotta
I don't mind. I don't mind wearing my nice shirt.
Time to get to work.
Councilmember Wolfville, you are officially now not the rookie.
I know.
Okay, so let's do, let's move on to, okay, so the next portion of the council meeting is public comment. We have public comment two times in the council agenda, once now and then towards the end of the meeting. So you're allowed to speak one time, so pick one or the other if you have a desire to speak. I do have someone who has decided that they would like to speak, and it looks like it is Chamber President Taylor Stark.
Taylor Stark, unincorporated Pierce County. I live off 234th. Just wanted to introduce myself as the chamber president to you all and say thank you for everything that you guys do. The chamber wants to have a presence at every city council meeting for you guys, for us, with the community. Everything is community based for us in business. And I'm really glad that you guys have the same mindset. The flower baskets look great, and thank you for everything that you guys do and the time and effort that you put in. Thank you.
Thank you, Taylor. Okay, moving on to mayor's report. I'm going to take a few minutes and pull up Chief Alfano to answer some questions related to recent legislation that will be effective June 11 related to e-bikes and how that interacts with what we're doing.
Right. And so I was made aware by the news last night that there was a new law. And so I did a little research today and found that it mainly relates to 16-year-olds and under. So this new law, so all e-bikes must have fully working pedals and a motor that can't propel the bike over 20 miles an hour. If it does, it's illegal for 16 and under to ride those e-bikes. So what that does, it classifies those e-bikes that can go over 20 miles an hour now are classified as e-motorcycles, just like what we've been seeing them riding, or e-mopeds. So we can enforce just like we would with those e-motorcycles now that are on the roads, we're seeing on the roads. So it's a little bit more clear for my officers and what we're dealing with. The hard part is there's e-bikes that are self-propelled, but also have motors that go over 20 miles an hour. So if an officer sees an e-bike, a juvenile or under 16 on an e-bike, and they are what appear to be going over 20 miles an hour, we can contact them and determine whether or not they are allowed to ride that e-bike. It's usually those class 3 e-bikes that can go over 20 miles an hour. So the law does go into it, specifically says that we can enforce it. The Department of Licensing is forming a work group to study licensing, age rules, safety education for electric motorcycles, with a report due by December 15th of 2027. So they've got a year and a half to get that report in. So the practical takeaways for parents when you're shopping for e-bikes for your children is that you buy an e-bike for an under 16 or 16 and under, that it's a true e-bike, that it has pedals, that it will only go less than 20 miles an hour. So that's going to be the education piece, because now we can enforce these to include e-bikes just as well. So that's pretty much the takeaway on the new law. That starts Thursday. So Thursday and June 11th at midnight, we can start enforcing. So we'll educate our officers on the update here. I'll send this out to them in the next, probably tomorrow. So
Chief, sorry, go ahead. Councilman.
Does the new law apply to e-scooters too? Because there's scooters that can go.
those scooters, so we already have a BMC with regarding to scooters and stuff, so we can enforce those, and you do have to be, those scooters can't be ridden on city property, sidewalks, technically on streets, so we can enforce those anyways.
And just for the record, that is in gross substitute Senate Bill 6110.
Yeah, yeah. Or whatever news, Fox News is what I was watching last night. That's how I found it. So, and then we had the conversation this morning. I was like, yep, I saw it. So, yeah.
Good.
Okay.
Thank you, Chief.
You're welcome.
The other update I have for you, a couple of things. One is I was finally able to get Cody Elkels, who is Chief of Staff in Reagan Dunn's office, to allow us to take down the orange construction barriers on the bridge. They said they'd have them done by June 19th. They said that they were fixing some cable repairs on the outlook and then along the bridge. I'm thinking that if I remember right, Councilmember Smith, there were discussions about people cutting them and not being, very.
That was last summer,
Right.
last summer.
Right, so those are now replaced and will be repaired, and for our tourist season and for the summer, we'll be able to enjoy the bridge the way it was originally intended. So that was good news. The last thing I'll let you know is that I have worked with Councilmember Morel to form a East Pierce County Mayor's group, which I think I have mentioned in the past, and we're meeting every 3 or 4 months. We are meeting Thursday of this week, and the topic that Dave Morel has brought to our attention is the discussions that you may have been seeing in the news about homelessness and the approach the the county's taking, called the Unified Regional Approach. So they are wanting to figure out how to go from maybe a $30 to $50 million budget at the county to deal with homelessness to somewhere close to maybe 500 million. So what that means is that by unified and regional, they'll be looking to some of us to pay for that. And I think our East Pierce County message is going to be clear. So we'll be working more on that, and I will bring a potential letter that the mayors will be signing to council for review. So that's all that I have. Let's move on. So committee reports, I've done mine. Let's move to development services. Councilmember Smith.
Well, the chair is at his baby's graduation tonight at the Puyallup Fairgrounds, so he's not here. We met earlier today and we got an overview of what we've always get every year about the 6-year STIP project. It's the street improvements that are ranked and are put in there. So there's a list of, we had all those that are in there that may get TIV grants and whatnot coming up. So that was presented. As you know, we've heard before, the Public Works Director, since the Public Works Director we had before is now our city administrator. That went out for application. They vetted all that. Yesterday had a interview with the top candidate, and that person is going to be offered the position, and the city administrator is negotiating the terms of the employment contract. That person is coming to us from Dickinson, North Dakota, where he's currently serving as the interim city or public works director in a city of 27,000 people and has over 70 employees that he supervises. So he is well versed. This gentleman, when he comes in, we got an update on the automated meter reader for your utilities, how that's going. Am I missing anything?
No, I think that covers it, Councilmember.
Perfect. So that was today.
Okay. And you're still up. Let's move to admin, finance, public safety.
Admin, finance, public safety met yesterday. The first item, my colleagues have the minutes. We just discussed the public works director, food bank. There's ongoing interaction with city staff and the Buckley Kiwanis Food Bank about the situation where they're going to be. The came to light that there may be a possibility out at Rainier State School, which is run by the state of Washington DSHS, has some empty portables that may be an option for low to zero cost with a very accessible area. And there is going to be a meeting tomorrow to discuss that issue. Expedited permitting process. City is exploring creating an expedited permit process used by other Pierce County jurisdictions, which would allow an applicant to pay a higher fee to expedite the process. They're looking into that, to how that may be put into play. IT, there was no topics. Buckley Municipal Court, no topics. Police Department, this is a great news. Chief Alfano advised that the city has hired 2 entry-level police officers. That started on June 1st. They are getting used to Buckley's police policies and whatnot. And they will both go to the academy at the Washington State Criminal Justice Training Center out in Normandy Park, beginning June 23rd. He also advised that Detective Plaster, Jeff Plaster, will be retiring for service effective the 30th of this month. Fire Department Chief Scogan advised that Buckley Fire will assist with escorting the traveling Vietnam War Memorial. This is something that's gone all around the country, does it all the time. It is a mini mock-up of what is on the National Mall in Washington, D.C. of the Vietnam Memorial, listing the names of over 69,000 U.S. service members killed in the Vietnam War. They're going to be escorting that up to Wilkinson tomorrow, I believe, from the Buckley Eagles.
Yes.
He also advised that there's an upcoming volunteer firefighter recruit graduation at the White River High School auditorium. I did not remember the date, but that is coming up. Look for it.
June 20th. Saturday, June 20th.
Okay.
Yep.
And he also advised that the city of Buckley has received a presidential proclamation for the horrible December 2025. Excuse me. You will see that I put I typo December 2025 flooding incident that will provide an access to financial recovery. Finally, Director Hines advised, and this was stated last month, that our July study session will be the start of the 2027-28 budget planning. And on tonight's agenda is the year-end report of the 2025 financials.
Thank you, Councilmember Smith. Councilmember Wolfville, Planning Commission.
Yeah, the planning commission met last Monday, the first. This was the first meeting we've had where we've actually had all of our new members, including myself. So we got to go around and introduce everybody, talk about everybody's background. We've got a very diverse group at the planning commission now, so I'm very excited to hear the communication and the discussions that go back and forth. We started essentially with the topic of the downtown design. So starting with the Rainier Gateway, which is the 410 as it makes the corner by the totem pole and now the pump track, that whole area. And then as it comes down Main Street, so the more historical district. We're going to be discussing all of the design factors that go into those buildings. So as we get new businesses or as we get existing businesses that want to make changes to these buildings, what is it that the city wants to see? We're using other cities that have updated their design codes as kind of a baseline. The state has required that we do away with any non-specific language when it comes to these design guidelines. So we have to be very specific. You can't just have a frontier style building. We have to go in and design what's a specific time period, what are the specific color palettes, what does the frontage look like? Are we going to allow complete tear downs and rebuild with modern materials? And what are the stipulations that go through that? So this will probably be a 6 to 9 month process as we go through these meetings. This was the first one, so we literally looked through all the outstanding code that the city has, and it is full of opportunities to do away with that non-specific language. So that'll be kind of the bulk of those meetings. For anybody who hasn't been to these meetings, we hold them every other Monday. It's a very good opportunity to kind of get involved with understanding what the current guidelines are, what the current rules are, especially when it comes to development, and then the discussions around, hey, how are we going to change this and make sure Buckley stays modern, but at the same time, still the place we love. It was a very good meeting. So our next one is next Monday.
It's my understanding also, Councilmember Wolfield, that what we have is two sets of information for people in order to make a decision. They have to do code and they have to do design guidelines.
Correct.
And we are going to do this
Yes.
to
Yeah,
make it easier.
the goal is to cut both of them in half and put them together and just be as specific as possible. We have a bunch of different designs, obviously, as buildings have been updated throughout the years, throughout the decades. And we have to come up with a design guideline that everyone can fit. For instance, right now, we have different design guidelines for buildings that are on ends, buildings that are in the middle, and buildings that are not up against anything else. So you have 3 different types of buildings down the street, and they all have different guidelines, which is extremely confusing. So it will be a large undertaking, but it's something we greatly need.
Glad to hear that planning commission is full and able to
Yes.
do their work. We got some good members when we got some volunteers for that, and they are greatly appreciated.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. Consent agenda.
On tonight's consent agenda is claims and payroll.
Move to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, on the regular agenda,
First item is pump track naming.
Parks Director Snodgrass is gonna be up here for a minute.
I am. Good
Move-
evening, council.
Get a motion and second on the
Good
table
idea.
first, please.
Move to approve the naming of the new pump track to Pedals Pump Track in Buckley.
Second.
Okay, and Director Parks is here. Any discussion at this point, or would you like to hear a short presentation from Director Snodgrass?
I don't have much. We talked about it last week, and I took your words back and brought forth with Pedals Pump Track and the name into Buckley, reflecting both the identity of the park to be for pedaled powered bikes only, also reflecting the large donation and keeping a positive image in Buckley. So we're looking forward to a opening here later this month.
So I'm gonna call for the vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
Motion carries. Next item is the pump track rules.
I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve the pump track rules as presented.
Second. Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any questions, comments, concerns from council?
I love these rules.
Thank you.
I think, I love these rules.
I noticed 6 AM.
That is our municipal code.
Okay.
And you'd be surprised because the skate park has the same. The amount of times I come to work at 7:30 in the morning and there's very young children with their parents having coffee already playing because those kids are already up and at them. So we do have the early hours, especially this time of year.
Okay, good. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and call for a vote then. All those in favor?
Motion carries.
Thank you, council.
Next item is the expansion of the senior center services grant contract.
Move to approve the expansion of the Senior Center Services Grant Contract with Pierce County Human Services.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Director Parks, or excuse me, Director Snodgrass, could you
Give
toot
us-
our horn a little bit and
Yeah.
tell us what we're spending that money on?
Yes, this grant, many of you know, we currently have a senior center services grant with Pierce County that helps us with overall operational costs of the senior center. We have been at it now, I think this is going on our 3rd year of this grant program, and it helps pay Lori's salary to take the costs off our local taxpayers. And it's money from tax base of Pierce County anyway, so helps us get our service level needs met. This grant expansion, we went after to help bring some mental health services dollars closer to our seniors and into Buckley. We're awarded $63,000 and we have till the end of 2027 to spend this. We are going to be focusing first on small care groups. We've had a lot of people come to us looking for support groups for grief and also for caregivers in our community who are helping people and living out here. We're away from a lot of those supports offered by the county Pierce County and King County out here, but we're going to bring those programs right here to the senior center or to Buckley Hall so people can get to them. And this money makes it happen. You're going to see in the memo I attached a breakdown of how we're spending this large amount of money. 36,000 will go back to the subcontractor, which is a local in Buckley chamber member counseling service office. So they'll be right here in case they do need additional services and that the dollars are returning back to our local community. We have some money allocated to our existing staff support to help us meet some of our gaps so that more grant funding can cover these costs of running the senior center, building operations and custodial support, because as we expand a little bit, we're going to need that to keep us going. It also will help us in some of our day-to-day operations. And then some equipment upgrades that we've wanted for a long time, we're able to fund with this money, including some different chairs and tables that are better for older adults with some different handicaps and disabilities, mobility wise. We're excited about this program. It's going to create another contact point for our seniors to meet and talk to someone and really sit down and go through what services they need and how they're doing. It'll also give them a contact point day to day when they're brand new, someone to walk them through and have lunch with them and sit down and really get them the resources that they need beyond just these groups. So we're excited about this work. It is somewhat of a pilot program with Pierce County in that they've never allocated mental health dollars directly to our senior centers before. Snohomish County's done it with some success. So we're hoping that this continues and we're successful with it. I know we'll be successful with it, but so that we can keep the mental health dollars coming out to our seniors. Unfortunately, it is dollars that are needed because we are isolated and seniors a lot of times live alone and can be forgotten from these programs. So we want to keep them active and engaged in our community.
I will say that Director Snodgrass is always very good at gathering data and reporting materials to show them that we're being good stewards of this money.
Thank you. Trying.
Okay, all those in favor, unless anyone has any questions? No?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you, Council.
Okay. Let's move on to staff reports, 2025 year-end financial report, Director Hines.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, Mayor, Council. Congratulations. So we are in the middle, well, almost 3/4 of the way now through our first biennial budget. So we did adopt 25-26 biennial budget, but the budget is prepared basically on an annual basis, and we have been monitoring it as well on an annual basis, especially our first go around through a biennial, making sure that we're not coming to this point in the second year and having any surprises. So I did prepare a 25 year end report, although it's not the end. We're halfway through at that point, but just kind of comparing 25 results to the 25 budget on its own merit. And so there's several kind of exhibits that provide information. The first one, Exhibit A, is a look at the revenue budget to actual for all funds across the city. We came in just 0.7% below budget, so overall quite well on the revenue for 2025. And there was some notes at the bottom of that. A lot of that is due to development as well. So in our capital funds, we were getting the general facilities charges, the impact fees. REIT revenue was also coming in well for sales above budget. That was somewhat unexpected. We were a little conservative on some of those estimates as well when we were doing the budget in the fall of 24, not knowing exactly how much development was going to pick up into 25. And so you'll see those. And then EMS, we did get some additional transport revenue and GEMT, which is our ground emergency medical transport. It's supplemental over and above the Medicaid transport money we get, not federal money. So that was a good addition. On Exhibit B, it's the budget to actual comparison for expenditures for all funds. Then we came in just under 16% underspent, mostly due to the capital funds on our own capital projects. So Miller Park was budgeted in 25, kind of somewhat more of even as a placeholder because we needed to budget it to try and get the grants, knowing full well that it probably wouldn't get all spent obviously in 25, and we will do a carryover into 26 or even probably even to 27. But that's why it looks like it's underspent in 25. And then Spruce Street project, which crosses multiple of the utilities. All of the design and construction for that was also budgeted in 25 and will get carried forward as that project progresses. Exhibit C, I do have to tell you there's a small error at the bottom. The notes at the bottom, you can ignore because those are actually, I had copied the revenue over from the full revenue page on Exhibit A and then forgot to delete those off. So they're just duplicative of the notes that are actually on Exhibit A. So I apologize for that and didn't realize that until after I had given the stuff to Treva. So for general fund revenue, we came in almost exactly on budget, 99.6% of budget was received. And we came in a little bit on property tax. That was nice to see. Usually property tax collections are always about 98 to 99% of the budget for the year, just because there's people that don't pay. But then when they do pay, we end up getting more than budget in a year, which is nice. Sales tax, well, again, we were somewhat conservative. Over the last years, it had been kind of plateauing, but it was good to see that sales tax did come in over our budget. And utility taxes also holding their own. As more houses go in, more utility taxes will be received, not only from our own utilities, but from PSE for natural gas and electricity, from cable, from phone, from all the outside utilities as well. Business licenses going strong. Our staff has been really working hard. Jessica, who works on the business licenses, has been working with our planning and building department as developments come in and they have to list their subcontractors, working to make sure all the subcontractors are licensed. And so we've been doing a good job recovering our business license revenue. Building permits, they came in a little bit under budget, but again, very strong compared to 2024. I think almost over 200,000 more than what 24 had been. So came in strong, even if it did kind of just miss the mark just a little bit. Grants, we have several grants. We continue to have the funding for the SAFER grant, which pays for the recruitment and retention officer in the fire department. We have the grants that some of them just mentioned that Aaron talked about for the senior center, and we have grants at the youth center. So Aaron's been doing a great job getting the grants for the city. Our law enforcement and fire protection services, those are our contracts with Wilkeson, Carbonado, and with Rainier School. Planning fees came in well, so that's good to see, because then that means more projects in the pipeline for planning, which hopefully develops then following that as more building permits and on the later end. And overall, then for general fund activities was pretty good. In the last exhibit just talks about the general fund expenditures. All departments, for the most part, came in under budget. So overall, we were down. A few that just came in mind, really small over budget, one of them being non-departmental. It's where our citywide insurance is. And anytime we change, we pay for this insurance that policy as it's presented at the end of the year for the next year. But then if we change vehicles and add new vehicles or those kind of things, that can increase the premiums during the year that weren't anticipated for. Police, we did have some cash outs from retirements. So that affected that for the police department. And then several of the facilities also incurred additional utilities above budget, Buckley Hall, police, fire, city hall, all of them, just with the increases that we probably all have seen with Puget Sound energy rates going up. So, but overall, did come in under budget, which is good. And so we're monitoring and looking at 26. We'll be bringing after the end of June, I'll have second quarter dashboard like we presented at the first quarter. We'll have second quarter dashboard for you and be able to report on that. And as Councilmember Smith pointed out, July study session will be the forecast for 27 to 32 and the kickoff of the 27 to 28 budget. And so we'll jump right into our next biennial. So happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Seeing none, you are free to go.
Okay, thank you.
We have one more round for opportunities for public comment. If Sandra, come on up.
I didn't find the paper. I wasn't intending on coming up, but when the planning commission part came up, Sandra Anderson, Buckley resident. I was fortunate enough to be invited and I attended the first planning commission meeting this last Monday. Presented a example of what the city of Buckley could change their beekeeping hive setback rules to. And I'm now working on getting the planning commission to come up with agenda to present to you all. So hopefully we'll get something voted on this year. So that's it. And then when I walked in, I noticed there's this property tax exemption seminar coming up. If you know anybody that's over 61, tell them to attend. I've been on senior property taxes for 4 years. And it's currently a household income at or below 64,000. But in 2027, that goes up to 85,000. So the state of Washington passed a new 3-year income level for every county in the state of Washington. And so it went up substantially. So, if you know anybody that needs some help, let them know to come to this meeting. So that's it.
Thank you. Okay. Council member comments and good of the order. Nothing, Councilmember Bruce?
I have nothing tonight.
Okay. Anyone else? Councilmember Smith?
Just because I have to. I mean,
Somebody should.
Chief Alfano mentioned the update on these e-bikes. It's everywhere. It's not just, it's everywhere. And I believe parenting in 2026 is void and I don't understand it. I've got 2 grown kids and one that's gonna be 18 in October. I rode a 10-speed bike. My grandparents, my paternal grandparents lived on this side of the river, and my maternal grandparents lived on the other side of the river. I rode a 10-speed bike, and it was good enough for me. I don't understand. And then you look at it's talk about health, getting exercise. Ridiculous. Parents, wake up and stop it with the insanity and make them pedal for the people.
Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
We're adjourned. Thank you.
Hey, parenting is not void here. Nolan just got his